All right, here it is, the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, and boy, are we going to go in-depth this evening with our first major wintry event heading our way in a matter of hours, and big impacts expected for our Tuesday, which is the first day of December. It's the first day of meteorological winter. Before we get to the snow, let's put a bow on November, which was a very balmy month, of course. This will go into the record books as the fifth warmest November on record. Actually, that top number, 4.9, warmer than average. I need to adjust that. That has not been updated today. But that is correct below there that we are in fifth place on the list of warmest Novembers on record. 42 is the high today, but that was just after midnight. We spent most of the day in the 30s. The cooler than average high temperatures this month, we had, 8 of them. And that puts us at 21 warmer than average highs and 1 exactly average high. And that was today. Again, before we get to the snow, let's recap the rain today. And actually, this rain meant some business. It poured for a while, and we had some sleet pellets and wet snowflakes mixed in when the rain was coming down hard enough. That momentum transfer. When the rain is coming down hard enough, it can bring down some of the colder air that's aloft. And with that, you get a little bit of cooling in the atmospheric column. You get a little bit of mixed precipitation. It was low impact. It was not the beginnings of our snow event, even though some people might have thought so if they saw some snowflakes earlier on today. The main event is still on the way for tonight. As of this recording at 7:08, we have some snizzle, a little drizzle, a little snow. Nothing high impact. The weather remains just kind of damp and gloomy outside. The true rain snow line, again, as of this recording a little after 7, is approaching the I-77 corridor. From Cleveland down to Akron to New Philly to Cambridge, it's been snowing for much of the afternoon in Columbus, in Mansfield, and Mount Vernon as well. This is all associated with what is turning into be a powerhouse upper-level low-pressure system. In other words, an area in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, about 18,000 feet above our heads, in which low pressure is strengthening. That leads to the atmosphere, the air in the atmosphere lifting. That forms clouds, that forms precipitation, and it also supplies the colder air for the frozen precipitation. And we've had a really nice merging or phasing of the northern branch and the southern branch of the jet stream, producing this very strong upper level low across the region. So, all that being said, it's going to snow as we go through the overnight tonight. The transition occurs late this evening. Once the snow gets going, we're going to have a mass of snow around for early risers on Tuesday, and embedded in this generally light to times moderate snow, some of our high-res modeling is trying to pick up on the presence of some fingers of lake effect or lake enhancements coming off of Erie. And if these do come to fruition and they're aimed at parts of our area, you can expect pretty changeable conditions tomorrow morning, where you'll be traveling along, say, the Turnpike, or 224 even, or up towards I-80. And it'll be snowing, but manageable, and then all of a sudden, if you hit that squall, if this comes to fruition, you could be in a world of hurt in fairly short order. So that's something we'll be keeping an eye on for tomorrow morning especially. Here's a look at one of our computer models in the hour-by-hour breakdown of the snow accumulations. Now, I think this is being a little bit conservative. I would say the model is a little too low with some of these amounts, but it'll give you a general sense as to when the fastest accumulations might occur with our snow late tonight and into tomorrow. So by daybreak tomorrow morning, again, this number is probably a little bit low. I'm not going to be surprised if we have an inch or even 2 inches on the ground in parts of the area by 7:30, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But then it just keeps adding up, and, I posted earlier on social, hey, expect maybe an inch or 2 on the ground at daybreak, and I hope not too many people took that as, oh, they took snow amounts down. No. We were never going to have 5 or 6 or 7 inches of snow on the ground at daybreak tomorrow. This is a long event. Once it starts snowing late tonight, it's going to snow for a good 24 hours. Now, some of it's going to be pretty light, but sometimes it's going to be a little bit heavier. So anyway, this is a long duration event. Just because you wake up tomorrow morning and there's not going to be this much snow on the ground, don't think that the storm is gone or underachieving or something like that. It'll keep snowing all day, accumulating a decent clip in the morning, maybe a little bit of a lull early in the afternoon before those rates pick up again late in the afternoon and into the evening. Well, as we are knocking on the door of our snow event, of course, our computer models at this point should be in pretty good agreement. And here's a look at our model spread for kind of the heart of our television viewing area, Warren to Youngstown approximately. And as you can see, we've got some decent agreement here. All of our lines are kind of clustered in this zone, and here's the legend. So 4, 5, 6 inches, according to the modeling, will be pretty common. That's for the heart of our area. Once you're down closer to East Liverpool, Calcutta, I would throw Rogers in this. I would throw Salineville, Summitville, and heading over towards maybe as far east and north as East Palestine into this boat. Amounts are lower, but still enough to shovel and plow. 3, 4, perhaps even 5 inches worth of snow in a lot of those areas. Now, when we look at the region as a whole, here's a look at the snow map update I did this afternoon. There's going to be a bullseye where double-digit amounts are pretty common. And I think this includes all of the Cleveland metro area, especially in the snow belts east of Cleveland, Geauga County, Ashtabula County, heading over towards I-79, Crawford and Erie counties, PA, 10, 12, 14-inch amounts, probably pretty common. Now, once you're closer to our true television viewing area, of course, amounts will not be quite that high in most areas, but still, this is going to be impactful. If you're outside of our true TV viewing area and you are interested in, say, Akron, Canton, Pittsburgh, I think in Pittsburgh, 3 to 4, maybe 5 will be pretty common. As you get over towards Canton, I think this is going to be kind of 5 inches or so, 6 maybe. Akron has a better chance of maybe seeing 7 or 8. Maybe even once you're north of Akron and a little closer to Streetsboro and Richfield, places like that. Not going to be surprised if we have some amounts 8, 9 inches, perhaps even 10. Now in our true television viewing area, here's a look at the zoomed in view. I think 5 to 7 is going to be real common for a lot of Trumbull and Mercer and Mahoning, even Lawrence. Now, these ranges are given for a reason. We can't say that your backyard is going to get 4.8 or 5.2. That precision the skill is not there for that. But you'll be somewhere in this range probably in the purple area, 5 to 7, if you live in a lot of Mahoning, Trumbull, Mercer counties, Lawrence County. Once you get down to Columbiana, and especially down to East Palestine, Lisbon, Hanoverton, East Liverpool, etc., I doubt too many places down there are going to get more than 5. I think 3, 4, 5 will be pretty common in those communities. Now, one of the questions I've gotten today is what kind of snow will this be? Will this be the kind of dusty, powdery snow that's you could brush with a broom almost? No. This will be fairly wet. Now, not as wet as some events, but still a little wetter than I would say average. Our snow to liquid ratio, on average around here in our vicinity, is 12 to 1. That's just an average. Sometimes it's as low as 7 or 8 to 1 if you have a real soupy, gloppy, wet event, typically more common in the early spring. Sometimes when we have a pure lake effect event and air temperatures are in the mid-20s, you can see snow to liquid ratios that are more like 20 to 1. This will be more like 11 to 1, which means that this will be good for making snowballs and snowmen. You'll break a sweat if you're going to be shoveling this. This may be a little bit goopy in your snowblower. And it also means that because this will be a little bit heavier, and because we do have a wind component to things tomorrow, I'm not going to be surprised if we have a scattering of power outages. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. Certainly not like we had a couple weeks ago when we had the 60-plus mile per hour winds. But a scattering of power outages is something that can't be ruled out. By far and away, though, the number one impact is going to be on the roads. Now, this is a long duration event. Again, we're not going to get 5 inches like that. And so road crews will be able to keep up with this because it is a long duration event, because at times the snow is not going to be coming down all that hard. And temperatures. It's not going to be that cold. It'll be around 30, 31. Road salt and treatments are very effective at those kinds of temperatures. That being said, it's still going to be slower than usual, and if you have reason to be on the interstates and the surface streets and around area roads tomorrow, take it slow and plan on a slower than usual go of it. Now, especially if you do need to go towards Cleveland. If for some reason you got to go up to Cuyahoga County, Ashtabula, Geauga, Lake County, the heart of the snow belt, well, it's a whole different story up there, I think, because, there's going to be some roads that may be impassable for a time up there, and it's a good idea when we're talking about this amount of snow, if you're going to be traveling in that direction, or anytime we have heavy snow in our region, to make sure your car is properly winterized, make sure your tire pressures are good, your gas tank is at least 1/2 full. Safety kit, a good idea. Emergency kit in your car is a great thing to have in the winter, making sure you have all these necessities. For 4 or 5 inches, for most people, this is not something you need to worry about, having water in your car and things like that. But if you're heading into the zone that's going to be in the double digits, then better safe than sorry. Have plenty of precautions and plenty of supplies in your car, just in case you get a little bit stuck. All right, I'm going to have more updates, of course, on social media this evening. I'll probably do a Facebook Live video with some of the same content that was in this video, but we'll do a little more in the way of updating with fresh model information and fresh radars on Facebook Live in a couple of hours. In the meantime, thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks tonight, and I hope you'll tune in on 21 News tonight at 11 on your televisions and streaming on your devices and WFMJ.com.